Okay then, today's little job is on our 2012 B200. It's done, I think, 75,000 miles or thereabouts. Yeah, it's done 75,000 miles. Had it for 4 years, and as far as I'm aware, the transmission oil has not been changed. So we're going on a big holiday soon, so I'm going to change it now. But first of all, I want to make sure we can measure the temperature. The temperature of the oil, the transmission oil, needs to be 40 degrees when it's checked for its level. So I've got an iCar Soft here. There we go, iCar Soft. Ignition's on. So we'll run through now and see what we can find the temperature, make sure it measures the temperature. So we go to diagnostics. Go on diagnostics. It's not touchscreen, is it? Full. So it's enter. Diagnostics, Mercedes-Benz. It's the latest version, 12.6. Here we go, and we need to go down to, the model is W246 2012 model. I'm going past it. W246, and hit that, and it's, oh, I've gone back too far. I've gone to W25, sorry. W246, there we go, 246 diesel, and the model is, it's a 246 W246 201, which is that one there, B200 CDI. Enter. We do manual scan, and we need to go down to a transmission control module. Enter. And then we need to go down to data, view data. There's no faults, the gearbox is working fine, just thought it might be a bit smoother if put the fresh transmission fluid in. So we'll view data, and then we'll go down to temperature sensors. There we go, communicating. Right, now I've just started it from cold this morning, it's 20 degrees, so we'll just start it up. Right, I'm just about to do the transmission change now on our W246 B200. Let's show you what we need. Okay, on this model DCT gearbox, we have 6 litres of the transmission fluid. This is spec 23621 with Mercedes. That's what's required for this model. We've also got a new pan filter. We've got an oil cooler filter. We've also got a transmission pan gasket, and importantly as well, we've got this dipstick, and it's the green handle dipstick. There's different colours. The green one is for our gearbox, and it's got the inclinations on there. We also got a new key thing, the seal, whatever we call it, to locking pin, to lock the cover back in again once we took it off. And that's it. We should only need 5 litres of this one, but we bought 6 just in case. It's fairly reasonably cheap. By the time we've done a lot of work, we might as well make sure we've got enough. You get to 40 degrees, and then you dip it with this dipstick, green dipstick, and it should be number 4 at 40 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead. First job then is to remove the battery earth, just in case. So we undo that one. Take it off for a start. Remove that, and then just put a little bit of card or something so it can't touch the terminal. There we go, and now we can start to take everything apart. Out of the way. You can grab the bottom of the airbox and pull it up, so and it will come up. There we go. And you can pull the airbox out of the way completely, and it'll give you plenty of room then to play about. Now we've got full access now to the oil cooler filter and the top of the sump gasket. So here we go. So there you have the oil cooler filter housing. So you've got to take that off, and we change that for the oil filter. We need to remove these bolts around here as well, which are awkward to get to. Once that's out, then we can get easy access to those. Hopefully we haven't got to move this bracket, hopefully anyway. So the first thing I'll do, I think now, is to go under the car, take the sump out and drain all the oil. That's the first job. Right, just crawling underneath, we've got to take this great cover off. So there's loads of these blinking bolts, so here we go. Right, got the cover off, that's quite easy. So we're underneath the car now. That's the sump, the transmission sump, and that is the big hex that we need to undo to drain all the oil fluid out into this container. So let's go and find a big hex, shall we? Right, I couldn't find a right size hex spanner or Allen key for this, but I found this, and this is something I made a long time ago when I used to get stuck for tools, and it fits snug. I think when I welded it, might have hardened it as well, might have quenched it in oil so it's hard, and all it needs is a bit of a lever on the end, and I got, and there we go, it's gone. So now we can drain the transmission fluid out. There it goes. The transmission is actually warm at the moment, so it should flow pretty freely. There we go. That's what colour it is. Here we go. Oh, it's not too bad a colour, is it? Not too bad. Doesn't look that nasty. So there you go. That's quite easy. There's a. Is it a magnet on there as well? There's a bit of muck on there. See that? Just swarthy muck. No filings though, which is good, just muck. Okay, now we finish this one, we'll let it drain and then we'll go at the top and take the filter off. Right, back at the top then, now while it's draining, and we can take this filter housing off and change that filter. So you wouldn't believe today, I've booked a day out to do this and it's blinking raining. It's not too bad, but it's raining. So I've had to improvise an umbrella to keep it all nice and dry. And it's working actually, it's alright, it's quite good. As long as I don't knock the umbrella and fall down, but yeah, so far so good. So here we go, we've got a 19mm socket on the end of this. And it should be, here we go. Nice and easy to get it off. Super. Put a bit of rag underneath that to stop it from making a mess of the engine. Stuff that rag down there, and it's tight now. Undo it. Here she comes. Tip it up. Oh, all licked everywhere. That's a good sign. Brackets in the way, innit? There we go. And this can go, oops, into there. Mop up any spillages, which we've actually maintained to a good spillage there. It does come out quite a lot actually, even though we're supposed to have drained the sump. There we go, that's all clean now. And leave it off so you can get at the bolts around the top end. Otherwise you'll never get at them. So we'll leave that off for the time being. Right, that's these are Torx, by the way. They're T30 Torx. So they're a bit tricky, but it's not impossible. But these pan screws are all Torx bolts. So they're tricky to get. T30 I believe as well. So they're a bit tricky to get at, but the top ones are hard and the bottom ones should be quite easy. Once you start them a little bit, they'll just come easy with your fingers. There we go. So that's 2 out now. I'll say once you started, you can get them with your fingers a lot easier that way. That's it. Oh, what the one on the top left, I just can't get at it. It's down there somewhere. So I'm taking the intercooler hose off now. I just release that little spring clip, and it should just pull down now. There we go, pulls down. Right, move that out of the way. We can hopefully get at that top left screw. There we go. There you go, that's better. Now I can get, with an extension, I can get that top bolt. And there it goes, it's free already. That's it. Right, the most awkward one, well, so far anyway, is the one halfway up. You cannot get in at it. But I've managed to get an extension on it, on a quarter drive, and I have actually loosened it off. So the bottom ones are all loosened off now. There's just this one, and then there's one the opposite side. Actually, no, it's coming off all right. Oh, I hope it goes back in as easy. Oh, there we go, gravity. And there you go, got the bugger out. Luckily, it's got a magnetic tip to this, so it keeps it in place. Now, drop that on the floor a minute, and then we'll have a look at the other side. So the other one is somewhere up there. There it is. Oh, that's the next little challenge. Right, managed to get it on. The last one, and it's coming off a breeze now. There we go. These are not that tight. I think down to about 10 Newton meters when you start them back up. And once you start loosening them off, they just fall off. So that's the last one, and then we'll take these out. These are only hand tight now, and the sump should drop off. Okay. Right. Last 3 bolts to come off. There you go. It's already loose. It's going to make sure the bolts don't drop in the oil. Because magnetic, you see, that's brilliant, isn't it? It's magnet Torx drive thing. Okay, last but one. There's another one gone, and I'll put that down somewhere safe. We'll use them again. And the last one is this one. And come on. Come on. Somewhere safe. And there you go. Now we can drop this off. And it takes a bit of a waggle, so I believe. I've never done one before, so I don't know which way we've got to waggle it. Oh, there you go. That was easy. Oh, that was a piece of cake. So drop that down there. And then that is the filter, which we need to take out. And this, it just pulls out, apparently. Come on, work on it. Oh, there we go. And that's the filter taken out. And then we'll have a look at that in a second when we've took all the oil out, see how dirty it is. And there you go, that's the transmission. Looks fairly clean to me. 75,000 miles without an oil change. I think it's probably due. Now, would that make any difference? I don't know. But now, that was quite daunting to do that, but it was quite easy. It felt daunting, but it was quite easy to do. Fiddly, you've only got to jack the car up a little bit, but it comes off quite easy, actually. Hope it goes back together in the same manner. Right, let's have a look at the filter then. Right, here's the old filter. That's dripping well, so I'm keeping that little box tied here. Let's have a look. Right, magnets. Magnets are a bit mucky. Oh, too bad though, is it really? No, that's probably could have lasted another 100,000 miles maybe. Now I'll clean the magnets up, because I use them again. I'm not sure if they come with the new magnets or not. I think it would do actually. And that's the side there. And that's the little the cooler filter, oil cooler filter as well, which is mucky. But they're straight in the bin, and let's clean the pan up now. That's a sump plug, and it is magnetic. There you go, it's just stick on there. It's magnetic, and there's a few bits of yeah, there's some particles on there. You just see those. Normal wear and tear, let's hope. And then we'll clean the sump up. Take the gasket off. It should just pull off, it says. And there we go, it's going now. Clean the gasket off. Chuck that away in the bin. Clean the sump up, make it spotless. I'm using isopropyl alcohol on this, but I think probably the best thing to do, what I did before, was to use brake cleaner as a degreaser, but this seems to be working okay. It's not dirty actually, really. No muck in it. There's no particles. It's dead clean. Just oil stained, that's all. So we'll give this a really good clean, and we'll also clean the mating surface up as well. And then we'll put the new gasket on. Clean the muck off this as well. Make it spotless. There you go. Put that somewhere safe. Finish cleaning this off. All that sludge out. Well, there ain't no sludge really. It's quite clean on me. These are clean. They don't get that dirty. Right, let's dry that off. And put the new gasket back on. I'm using the wife's best kitchen cloths to clean this. Make it spot. She won't know, and she'll put them in the washing machine afterwards, so she'll never know. That's really nice and clean now. And let's go and get the gasket. There's the new gasket, and it only fits in one way, which is great. So I've cleaned it all up now, and this just goes on like that. There's little lugs, locating lugs on it. So let's have a look. There's locating lugs in there, so it only goes on one way. Press that down. Doesn't need any gasket glue or anything. And then we can have a look at the filter itself now. This is the new filter. And you do have magnets with it. I can see there's magnets that come with it. So we need to retrieve the old ones off. There we go. And that just slides straight in. I think we have to lubricate the O-rings on there, just so it slips in easy. So we'll clean the surface up on the gearbox itself, and then we'll stick this in. That's also the new cooler filter with the seal as well. So we'll change that now, I think. We'll change it now. So remove the old seal. O-ring. Come off. Like that. And then the new one in this packaging. And then we'll stick that on. Like that. So it's right down the bottom. There we go. Okay, that's on. That's on, seated well. Right, so now take this out, and that goes in first, and then the housing goes on afterwards. So I'll just offer it up, and it just fits on there, clicks in. That's all nice and clean. I've cleaned that up, so that slots on somehow afterwards. There we go. Slip the housing over, and just do it up hand tight at the moment. You can get it started, that is. Come on, it's difficult with one-handed. There we go, we're started. and then we'll nick that up as well. Got the spanner. Okay, that's on and seated. Now we'll just tighten it up to a specific torque, which is not sure, but I've got a special Torx spanner here, so I'll just keep doing till it clicks, and a bit more, and click. There you go. That's click. Yeah, that's it. That's nice and tight. Now I'm going to clean up all the surfaces around there. It's lovely and clean. I'll just make sure there's no rubbish in there. Again, I'm using isopropyl, but you can use brake cleaner. And just make sure there's no obvious muck. Shouldn't be. Okay, let's go around the top and do it around the top. Make sure it's nice and clean. Oh, I'll tell you what I've done. I've put the filter in, haven't I? I shouldn't have done that because I might struggle to get that bolt in, but we'll see how it goes. So I put a little bit of oil, clean oil, around the O-rings, so it should go on a little bit easier. Now let's have a look then. So it goes in like that, and then it just pushes into place into the slots, like until it clicks. And there you go, that's done. Easy. Right, let's offer the sump up. So we've got a nice clean sump with the gasket on, and we'll just waggle it until it goes in. Waggle, waggle, waggle. It's gonna go, I think. There's something in the way. I think we've done it. Not quite. What's wrong? There you go. Keep going. So if you're doing this on your own, you need to waggle it from the top as well. I've waggled it so it goes on nice and easy. That's mated up properly now, so just a matter of putting some bolts in. Right, I've got one start at the top, just to do it finger tight, just to get it supported while we go back underneath and do a couple at the bottom. There we go. There we go, that's one started. Just do a finger tight for a start. Another one. One more off. These are going to be torqued down to 10 Newton meters. We have a small torque wrench, so we're going to do it properly, I think. And you do it in a rotating fashion, as if you would, and you're putting a wheel on. So do it opposites and opposites, rather than all at the bottom and all at the top. So up and down, up and down. There we go. Okay, that's that in. That's easy. That's a piece of cake. The trouble is, I've struggled with the one at the top where the filter is, the oil cooler filter. We'll see. Rather than take the filter off again. Okay. Okay, so you can do it with a filter in, but it's just a bit trickier. But just need a small extension, that's all. But I've done it. So that's nearly the hard part done now. Just the ones in the side. The middle left one I've actually managed to get in from the top. Now the intercooler pipe's pushed out the way. You can actually get it easier. So I just started it off. I'm just going to I can torque it up afterwards. Actually, same for the right hand side as well. Once you've got an extension, you can get it on it quite easy. Actually, you don't need to go underneath to do these. There's more clearance at the top, so that's a lot easier. Okay, now down back to the bottom again. So they're all finger tight. So just need to go around now in a horizontal or cross fashion. So what you need to do now is go around with your torque wrench, which I've got on the end of here now, and I've done one at the bottom opposite, so now we're going to do this one. It's awkward to get at, but and my phone keeps moving. Try that. Oh, and its gravity's taken over again. Let's see if we can get that one. There we go. If you don't believe me, I've got my torque wrench as well. Set at 10 Newton meters. So let's try again on that one. I'm just going to check the last one, and it's all finished. Let's just check that. That's right. While I'm down here, I'll check the other ones, make sure they're all fully tightened. Yeah, and the last one. Yeah, so they're all down at 10 Newton meters now, and that's the sump back on. Before we put the new so next job now is to put the sump plug back in. So we clean that up with some wipes, and then we've got a new sump washer. There we go, and then we just clean the face up of this with these wipes, make it spotless, and then we can put the sump plug back in. Okay, let's do that now. There we go. There's the sump plug back in with the new washer. Okay, got that down, and then we'll put our special spanner on it and torque it up. We need, and that's our special spanner. We need to just nick it up for now, and then we'll torque it up properly. I think it's 30 Newton meters tightness, so we'll just check that and get my torque wrench out. That's all torqued up nicely. Let's wipe it down with a reasonably clean cloth. Move that out of the way because that stopped dripping now. Everything's torqued up, everything's clean. So now we have to lower it down and put the transmission fluid in. So we'll put the cover on first because we know it's not going to leak, so we'll put the cover on and then we can lower it down properly. Okay, that's the unit tray back on. So we've finished now under here. So we'll let it down off the ramps, get it level, and then we can put some fluid in. Fluid goes in there. We've got to take that top off, and we have that special dipstick goes in there. So what we'll do now, I think we'll put it all back together. I'm just making sure everything's nice and tight, everything's done, everything fits where it should. We've not left anything in there. Okay, so let's lower it down. So while I got everything stripped down and the battery disconnected, I took the opportunity to get a brand new battery because the last one, it's 11-year-old, so it was struggling a bit, so I bought a brand new one, X-Side EK 800, got it for 130 quid, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll stick that on and it should last us through the winter or many winters to come. Right, everything's going back together, okay. Put the ECU back up, secure. Then the other one slots in and then locks in position. That's done. All the clips back on. That's that one. And the rest of them, wherever they go. They just push in. That's secure, that's secure, that's secure. Got to put the battery cover on yet, but we'll still got the negative disconnected. So we're nearly there. To remove the blanking cover on the transmission dipstick, you break the top off there, and you get the screwdriver and just push that down like that, and it should then come off. It says. Oh, I think I'll push it a bit further down, a bit further, and and it should come off. Yes, there we go. So now we can put the dipstick in. Okay, this is the new dipstick, the green one, with the markings on there. And we also get a new locking pin as well. When we've finished it, we lock the cover back on with this new pin. So let's put 3 or 4 litres in and see what happens. So we've got a brand new funnel, which goes into there. And then we'll put some brand new fluid in. Here we go. Nice and clean. This is like a yellow colour. The other one was dirty black. I guess it was yellow once. But the stuff we're using is the manhole. There you go. It's 1 litre. This is the fully synthetic one, DCT fluid, and it meets the standards for the Mercedes-Benz 23621. So it should be okay. Oh, it's struggle to come off. There we go. There's a little pull thing as well. There we go. Another litre goes in. I believe this is the 724 gearbox transmission on the W246 model. There's another litre gone in. We'll put 4 in and then we'll get it level and then do a dipstick check. That's 3 litres. 4 litres. Right, took off the ramps, put 4.5 litres in, and now we're going to check the temperature and then we'll check it with a dipstick. So let's go back inside. Go back in here and let's do the multifunction again with this. Set the steering wheel straight. So first of all we go diagnostics, Mercedes. Let's get this over out of the way a bit. Mercedes, enter. Then it's the latest version, and now we want the model, which is W246, which is that one. Enter. Diesel, and it's the B. It's a 246 201. Hit that. Enter. Manual scan. Go to transmission control module and go view data. And then we need to go to temperature sensors. And the temperature at the moment is 30 degrees. So wait for it to get to 40 and then we'll put the check on, the dipstick rather, and check the level. It should be number 4 on the dipstick, level 4, 40 degrees. Should I go over here? So I'm just switching through the gears at the moment. Reverse, everything seems quite nice. No noise, nothing. So back into neutral. Handbrake on. Yeah, handbrake's on. And let's watch it go up. Don't know if you need to rev it or not, or just let it get up on its own, but we'll give it a little rev. That'll do. And I'll just sit here and wait for you to get to 40 degrees. Quick check round, make sure there's no obvious leaks. It's fine, everything's fine. Can't really see much, but it looks fine. We've been running now for about 10 minutes. So let's have a look at the temperature. And we're at 37 at the moment. 37 degrees, so it's nearly time to check. Okay, so let's go back to the engine and we'll have a quick dip what it is now. There we go. Wow, only just registering. You just see that. Only just. Looks like we need a bit more. Right, that's 5 litres now gone in, so we'll check it again. Still only 2. We'll look at the temperature. Right, we're now at 39.5, 40. So I'm going to nip round now and see the measurement now. Okay, it's only 2 still. So we need to put a fair amount in. Okay. So with the engine stopped, I put a bit more in. We're getting 5 now on the scale. So let's start it up and see what we're getting with the engine running. And we're only getting 3 still. You see that? So I'm going to put a tiny bit more in, if I can get it lined up again. There we go. A dribble. See that? So with the engine stopped now, I'm getting 5. Around about 5 on there. So let's start it up and see what we can get. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3 and a bit now, nearly 4. I think we're nearly there now. Okay, it's just over 3, about 3.5 now. So I'm going to put the cap back on because the engine's got to about, well, the gearbox got to about 41 now. So I'm going to put the cap back on temporarily. I'm going to get it run down the road, just see what it goes like, and then we'll test it again when it's cooled down. Right, I'm back in the car. I'm going to get a little test drive. It's at 41 now, nearly going to 42. So I'm going to have to quick test drive, then let it cool down, then check it again. So initial reaction then, it's really smooth. Before it was a little bit jerky, and you couldn't, you could definitely tell when it was changing gear. But now I know the engine is warm. It's got warmed up. It's nearly up to temperature, but it's very, very smooth. Very, very smooth. It was smoothish before, a bit jerky sometimes, especially in the mornings. But this is lovely and smooth again. Well, I'm just thinking it should be, or the fact that it is. But it just seems smooth. I don't know if it's my imagination, but it does feel smooth. It doesn't jerk when you change from reverse to gear either. Before you used to get a little jerk, but now that's pretty seamless. So let's just give it a blast up here. It's private road, by the way. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty seamless, that is. That's good as new. I think we've cracked it. I've just got to check the level again when it cools down. At the moment, I think it's gone right up. I'll just have a quick look on the I'm going to park up on the iCar Soft. Let's have a look what it says. It says temperature now is, what's that? That's 53, 52, 53. So we'll let it cool down and then we'll check it again. Okay, it's the following morning. We've let the engine and gearbox cool down, and I've just opened the bonnet up. I've not started the car yet, and the gearbox oil is at 17, 18 degrees. So I'm going to measure now the amount of oil on the dipstick. So we have quite a bit in there actually. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5, nearly 7. So now we're going to start it up and try it again. So from cold we've got 3. So now I'm going to warm it up to the 40 degrees. While we're waiting for it to get to 40 degrees, we'll talk about the dipstick. The dipstick with the segments on. It's quite a long dipstick. It's massive, and I originally thought it was like a traditional dipstick that it just sets on the bottom, not in the bottom, it just rests on the top, and then you take the dip from there. But this one actually goes all the way to the bottom. Once you put it in, you put it in until it actually hits the base of the gearbox and stops. So you've got all this extra sticking out. And I wondered why it was so long. And obviously it just hits the bottom and that's it. I'll just do a quick check now what we're on. We're still on 3. But we're only 35 degrees. So we'll wait to 40 and I'll check it properly. And so far I think I've put about just under 5.5 litres into the transmission. This is the old stuff, which is a 5 litre jug, but I think it's a bit more than in there than 5 litres, and I've spilt a bit as well. So I think 5.5 litres or just over is about right, I think. So anyway, well, let's go and check if it's 40 degrees yet. Okay, that's 40 now. Okay, just dipped it again and it's 3, so we need to put a little bit more in. Okay, still at 40 degrees, so this is the last time. Try that. There you go, 4 segments, that's perfect. We've done it, finished. So, there you go, conclusion then. The car was a B200, it's a 2012 model, it was a W246 and it got the 724 gearbox. It took about 5.5 litres of the man oil, transmission fluid, which is 23621. We had to buy the
silly looking green dipstick as well with the 4 segments. Well, there's several segments. 4 segments you need at 40 degrees. You will need something like the iCarsoft to tell you the temperature of the transmission when you do it properly. Some people say, oh, well, just drain out the amount of fluid you got in and put the same amount in, which is fair enough if there's no leaks or anything else. But to do it properly, you need to get the transmission up to 40 degrees. And this little unit there tells you that brilliantly. So in conclusion as well, I think this morning when I took it out for a run, going through all the gears, sport mode and manual, it seemed smoother when it was colder. Definitely seems smoother when it's colder. I haven't really tried it out really when it's warm, but hopefully it'll be smooth as silk. So I think really it was a well done job. I think it took about 2 hours to do it, which is not too bad. And the total cost was about 110 quid. So I'm quite pleased with that actually, and it'll last us now for another 75,000 miles or thereabouts. Okay, till next time then.